Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be discussing the history of the girl group FX. I know I started this series and then kind of drifted away from it, but I haven't forgotten about it and I've been meaning to cover FX specifically in this series. Before we get into this video, I want to make an official announcement that I finally have a Patreon. I know I've been talking about making one for a long time, but I finally got around to making one at long last. As most of you know, I decided to stop my vocal ranking videos due to a lot of backlash I was getting over them, but I'm happy to announce that I'll be posting all of my vocal ranking videos to Patreon from now on. Both my Twice and Blackpink vocal ranking videos are already up there, along with a new vocal ranking for Red Velvet. I'll also be posting a lot of other exclusive content on there, so if you want to check that out, the link to my Patreon will be in the description. Please consider checking it out. When you support my Patreon, you directly support me and my channel, and you allow me to continue making videos, which is something that I would like to continue to do. But yeah, sorry for the self-promo, I just had to get that in. But anyways, once again, like in my Why X Group Flops series, the goal of this series is never to make fun of or spread any rumors about a group. And if you notice that I missed anything or got something wrong, please politely correct me in the comments below, as I never want to spread any misinformation about a group that I'm covering. I also want to give a quick disclaimer for this video specifically that I won't necessarily be covering the history of FX in chronological order, and that I may jump around the timeline a bit due to the different subject matters in this video. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's just get into the video. FX is a four-membered girl group consisting of members Victoria, Amber, Loona, and Krystal. The group originally had 5 members, including former member Sulli until she left the group in 2015. The group made their debut on September 5th, 2009 with their debut single La Cha Ta under SM Entertainment. Despite being one of the most well-known girl groups of the second generation of K-pop, the history of FX is pretty convoluted. FX was more of a group that many people knew about, but not many people were dedicated fans of. This was accentuated by the fact that they were under the same label as some of the most well-known acts in K-pop. Groups and idols such as BoA, Girls' Generation, and EXO were all under SM as well, and yet FX did not see nearly the same amount of success as their label mates. Also, one of the main reasons I wanted to cover FX in this series is because, as an outsider, the case of FX is so interesting to me. SM are known for producing some of the most popular and revered groups in K-pop, and while FX seemed to have a lot of potential at the beginning of their careers, it seems as though SM just gave up on them halfway through their careers and FX never recovered. FX made their debut on September 5th, 2009 with the single La Cha Ta. This song established the unique sound FX had. This was even reflected in their name. The name FX represents the math function FX, which means that they would carry out various activities based on the various talents and charms of the members, like the formula whose answer can change depending on the value of X. In addition, F symbolized flower and X symbolized X on the female chromosome XX, which taken together meant to symbolize flower reminiscent of women. The group gained attention as Krystal was the sister of Jessica of Girls' Generation. Shortly after their debut, they began to appear in promotions for the LG Chocolate cell phone along with Girls' Generation and released a version of the song Chocolate Love. On November 9th, the group released their first physical single, Tzuyu, and shortly after appeared at Girls' Generation's Into the New World concert. While their debut wasn't wildly popular, those who knew of FX had nothing but praise for them. Many people commented on FX at their debut that they were extremely talented, especially considering that 2 of the members were only 15 at the time of their debut. Many people at the showcase predicted that the group would make it far. On May 4th, FX came back with their first mini-album, New ABO or New Yepio, and the title track with the same name. This comeback was a commercial success as the title track peaked at number 1 on Gaon digital charts and the album peaked at number 2 on Gaon album charts. Unfortunately, in June, it was announced that Amber would be going on hiatus due to an ankle injury and the group would promote without her for the rest of the year. During this time, they re-released the song Mr. Boogie, which was a B-side on the new ABO mini-album for live promotions. They also participated in the SM Town Live 10 World Tour beginning on August 21st, 2010. FX ended 2010 with only one comeback. However, Amber returned to the group in early 2011 and the group resumed promotions. On April 20th, 2011, FX released their first full album, Pinocchio, and the title track with the same name. This comeback was an all-around success. Both the title track and the album peaked at number 1 on Gaon charts. The album sold over 70,000 copies, and this comeback gained FX their first win and they would take home 8 total wins from this comeback. Just a couple of months later, on June 14th, FX came back with the title track Hot Summer and the repackage of the Pinocchio album with the same name. This comeback was also a huge success, the song debuting at number 5 and then peaking at number 2 on Gaon digital charts and was downloaded nearly 400,000 times in the first week of its release. It went on to become the 16th most successful digital song of 2011 in South Korea, selling nearly 3 million copies by the end of the year. The repackage sold over 70,000 copies, totaling nearly 145,000 copies for both Pinocchio and Hot Summer. The group would take home 2 wins from this comeback. Before 2011 came to a close, they would release a song called Gara Gabana for the video game Bust a Move, and release a Christmas song titled 123 as a track on the 2011 Winter SM Town The Warmest Gift album. On June 10, 2012, nearly a year after the release of Hot Summer, FX came back with the mini album Electric Shock and the title track with the same name. This comeback was a huge success, the song debuting at number 1 on Gaon digital charts, selling over 630,000 copies in the first week, and the album peaking at number 1 on Gaon album charts. By the end of 2012, the album sold nearly 75,000 copies, and the title track sold over 2.1 million copies. FX would take home 9 wins for this comeback, and Electric Shock would be nominated for numerous awards that year. It would even go on to get nominated for and win Best Dance and Electronic Song at the 10th Annual Korean Music Awards, one of the most prestigious award shows in Korea, with few idol groups ever being nominated. In March of 2013, FX became the first ever K-pop artist to perform at the Entertainment and Music Festival SXSW in Austin, Texas. Just a few months later, on July 29th, FX would release their second full album, Pink Tape, with the lead single Rum Pum Pum, holding a showcase for the release through Naver Music. The album was a commercial success in both South Korea and the US, peaking at number 1 on both Gaon and Billboard album charts. The album was so well received that it would be the only K-pop album featured on a list of 41 best albums of 2013 created by the American music channel Fuse, and would be later named one of the greatest K-pop albums of the 2010s by Billboard. As for the title track, Rum Pum 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 earned FX their first number 1 on the K-pop Top 100, ranked 3rd on Billboard's 20 Best K-pop Songs of 2013, ranked 59th on Billboard's list of 100 Greatest Girl Group Songs of All Time, and earned them 4 wins. On July 7, 2014, FX released their 3rd full album, Red Light, and the title track with the same name. The album reached number 1 on Gaon album charts and number 2 on Billboard World album charts, and would go on to sell over 86,000 copies by the end of the year in South Korea, making it the 19th best-selling album of the year in 2014. The music video for the song, released a few days prior, gained over 2 million views in the first day. The song peaked at number 2 on both Gaon digital charts and K-pop Top 100, with several other unpromoted tracks on the album charting as well. It was also included in several end-of-the-year lists of best K-pop songs of 2014. This comeback would go on to be arguably FX's most iconic comeback, largely remembered for this being Sulli's last comeback in the group before she left. This was also the year that things began to go south for the group. Despite FX being successful in comparison to many other groups at the time, many people questioned why FX weren't seeing nearly as much success as their label mates. Many speculated as to why FX didn't seem to be on the same level as other groups under SM. Some claimed that FX's sound was too experimental. However, SM was known for their willingness to step outside of the box. They had many groups in past, present, and future who were extremely experimental in their time, and many of them would go on to be extremely successful because of this. And FX had released multiple chart-topping experimental songs before, so it wasn't their sound that was turning people off. Some claimed it was SM's poor promotions of the group that prevented them from consistently growing more popular. In fact, SM had a history of mishandling FX, and many fans of FX had grown angrier and angrier with SM due to the way they treated and managed the group in comparison to their other groups. In 2014, it was announced that EXO, a boy group under SM, would be getting their first solo concert and tour. Many FX fans were furious at this announcement. At the time, EXO were just barely 2 years old, while FX was coming up on their 5-year anniversary with no announcement of a solo concert or tour. This was just the beginning of a long list of complaints fans of FX had for SM throughout the years. In comparison to other groups under SM Entertainment, FX received few reality show opportunities, they lacked fan merchandise, they didn't have an official light stick, and they didn't receive a fandom name until nearly 7 years after their debut, as opposed to other fans of groups who received fandom names just months after their group debuted. They were also at a disadvantage due to the fact that they debuted so closely after Girls' Generation. Girls' Generation was and continues to be royalty in the K-pop world. It also didn't help that Krystal and Jessica were sisters. They were constantly being compared to Girls' Generation and were under constant pressure, especially in their early years, to live up to the high expectations set by their sister group. FX also tended to take long breaks between comebacks, most of them lasting a year or more. While the members did engage in solo activities, none of them were ever really successful, and they largely failed to hold the attention of the general public when they weren't promoting as a group. As many of you know, 2014 was arguably the worst year in SM Entertainment's history. There were multiple dating scandals, Jessica left Girls' Generation, 2 members of EXO filed lawsuits against SM, and in the case of FX, Sulli went on hiatus. During the midst of all this chaos happening under SM's roof, SM decided to debut their new girl group, Red Velvet. It's widely believed that SM debuted Red Velvet to take away attention from the messes they were dealing with. This is solidified by the fact that Red Velvet originally debuted as a 4-membered group and then 7 months later added a 5th member, implying that the group was unprepared and unfinished at the time of their debut. Many fans of FX regard Red Velvet's debut as the final nail in the coffin for FX, as they would soon halt group promotions altogether. Many fans of FX blame Red Velvet for FX's mistreatment, as on the surface it seems like SM ditched FX for Red Velvet. This theory gained even more traction as rumors spread about Red Velvet being given songs that were originally meant for FX. However, as we've already established, SM had a long history of neglecting and mistreating FX that began long before Red Velvet debuted. Red Velvet was also treated as nothing more than a PR stunt by SM, and their rush debut irreparably damaged the reputation of the 5th member, Yeri, who continuously received hate for being added to the group post-debut. I want to insert a trigger warning here, as this next section I will be talking about slut-shaming, self-harm, and suicide. If you are sensitive to these topics, please proceed with caution. In September of 2013, a picture of Sulli holding hands with the rapper Chweza surfaced on social media. This sparked outrage and curiosity among fans who demanded to know whether or not Sulli and Chweza were dating. Both Chweza's label and SM Entertainment denied this. However, somebody found Chweza's wallet that contained pictures of Sulli inside of it. It was confirmed by his label that the wallet did belong to him, however they refused to comment on the photos. Fans were outraged at this. There was clear evidence that Chweza and Sulli were romantically involved, and yet neither Sulli nor Chweza's label would confirm this, despite denying the dating rumors previously. Had their labels confirmed their relationship sooner, what took place next might not have happened. Both Sulli and Chweza received backlash and hate for months on end, and when SM finally confirmed the relationship, it was too late. The damage had already been done. On July 25th, 2014, just shortly after FX had started promotions for their comeback Red Light, SM Entertainment announced that Sulli would be put on temporary hiatus due to issues with her health both physically and mentally. SM cited malicious comments and baseless rumors as part of the reason for her hiatus, as Sulli was not only receiving backlash for her relationship with Chweza, but there were also rumors circulating that she was pregnant. Despite this attempt by SM to minimize the hate that she was receiving due to her relationship with Chweza, the backlash didn't stop, and it was made worse by the fact that pictures of the couple were surfacing throughout her hiatus. She received further criticism as many people claimed that she wasn't being responsible as a member of FX and that she was pursuing love while the other members of FX were working hard. This backlash continued all throughout their relationship up until their breakup in 2017. Netizens repeatedly bashed and criticized the two, specifically because Chweza was 14 years older than Sulli, and Chweza had a rough bad boy image as opposed to Sulli's shy and innocent one. One netizen even went as far to analyze and compare lyrics from 2 songs written by Chweza, Good Love, which was written when he was with his previous girlfriend, and Eat, Do It, Sleep, as proof that the relationship was unhealthy and that Chweza didn't really love Sulli. In August of 2015, over a year since SM announced her hiatus from the group, SM announced that Sulli would be leaving FX to pursue acting. There were rumors flying everywhere about why she had left the group. Sulli would reveal later on in 2018 that she had left the group due to the overwhelming amount of pressure and loneliness she felt, likely due to rumors and hate that she received. The comments about their relationship only got more vicious throughout the years. On November 25th, 2016, pictures surfaced of Sulli and Chweza going to the ER after Sulli had injured her wrist. An unnamed source even claimed that Sulli was drunk and that she denied any attempt of suicide. Netizens were quick to jump the couple and write all sorts of nasty comments about how this incident was proof of how unhealthy their relationship was, that Chweza made Sulli attempt suicide, and that she should leave him. Only a few months later, on March 6, 2017, it was announced that Chweza and Sulli had broken up. Chweza's label announced that the couple had broken up due to busy schedules and different lifestyles. However, many speculated that they finally decided to break up due to the overwhelming amount of hate they received throughout their relationship. On April 1st, 2016, Dispatch revealed that Krystal and Kai, a member of EXO, were dating. According to reports, they had started dating in early spring of that year, and Dispatch released photos of the two meeting at a restaurant. SM was quick to confirm that the two were in fact dating, claiming that the two had developed feelings for each other during their friendship. While fans did not react nearly as badly to this news as they did to Sulli's dating scandal, the couple was still bombarded with hate. People sent death threats to Krystal, repeatedly bullied Kai and made fun of his appearance, and even tried to pry into the couple's personal life. Not long after they were announced to be dating, a netizen who worked at a convenience store posted that Kai and Krystal had visited the shop and that Kai had bought condoms. They even included a picture of their receipt to prove it. However, the situation did not go as planned, and the netizen who posted this information was bombarded with hate for posting about their private life and eventually posted an apology. But even though many people sided with Kai and Krystal, some criticized them for not being careful enough and even theorized that the two might be living together based on this incident. Throughout their relationship, pictures of the two meeting and going on dates repeatedly surfaced, always followed by outrage from fans and non-fans alike. However, in comparison to dating scandals of the previous years, Kai and Krystal were a much better received couple. Unlike Sulli's dating scandal, SM was quick to get out in front of the rumors and confirm that the two were dating. It also helped that neither Kai nor Krystal ever publicly talked about their relationship. Then, on May 31st, just one day shy of exactly 14 months since they were announced to be dating, it was announced that Kai and Krystal had broken up. SM released a statement saying that the couple split due to busy schedules and that they planned on remaining good friends. Surprisingly enough, there were many fans upset about the split, as many people thought that they were the perfect couple. On October 27, 2015, FX released their fourth studio album, 4 Walls, and the title track with the same name. Despite this being their first comeback in over a year and their first comeback as a 4-membered group, this comeback performed extremely well. The album sold over 66,000 copies in the first week alone. It peaked at number 1 on Gaon album charts during its first week, and reached number 1 on US Billboard album charts almost a month later. The single 4 Walls peaked at number 2 on Gaon and Billboard World Digital Songs, making it FX's highest charting song on Billboard. But unfortunately, despite this success, this would be FX's last comeback as a group. After this comeback, the members went on to pursue solo activities. The members' solo activities largely failed to see success in Korea, their releases charting very low or not charting at all. However, Victoria was doing extremely well promoting in China, and she spent much of her time promoting as a singer and actress there as opposed to Korea. Fans were upset by this hiatus, especially since there were times it seemed like they were alluding to a comeback. In January of 2016, the group held their first ever solo concert nearly 7 years after their debut. During this concert, they also announced that their fans finally had an official name, MeU. Fans were sure that this meant that a comeback from FX was inevitable and that it was only a matter of time before the group came back, but as we all know, this would not be the case. Fans were frustrated with the way FX was being treated, and it seemed that the members of FX were as well. On March 13, 2017, Amber made a post on her Instagram in which she discussed her frustrations. In the post, she said that she felt like she had been taken advantage of and continuously been given false hope. And while she didn't say who or what this message was directed at, many could easily tell that this was about her frustrations with SM. In January of 2018, Krystal opened up about FX's prolonged hiatus and said that while the members had discussed making a comeback, the timing never worked out. On August 3, 2019, at SM Town Live in Tokyo, FX reunited for the first time in almost 4 years. Though Victoria was unable to make it due to her schedules in China, fans were ecstatic, as this was the first time that the group had been seen together since the release of 4 Walls. FX quickly began to trend on multiple search engines, and fans hoped that this reunion would mean more content and group activities from FX in the future. Unfortunately, this would not be the case. On September 1st, Amber announced via social media that she would be leaving SM. Just 4 days later, it was announced that Loona would be leaving the company as well. SM also announced that Victoria's contract was under review. To rub even more salt in the wound, a month after she left, Amber stated that the group had no plans to reunite in the future. I'm sure many of you already know the details, but once again I'm putting a trigger warning here just to let you know that this section will discuss suicide and mental health. If you know you're sensitive to these topics, please proceed with caution. On October 14, 2019, at approximately 3:20 p.m. Korea Standard Time, Sulli was found dead by hanging in her house by her manager. An autopsy confirmed that there was no foul play, break-in, or external force, and they ruled it a suicide. From early on in the group's career, Sulli quickly became the black sheep of FX. It seemed like no matter what she did, she was constantly under fire. From openly supporting feminism, rebelling against Korea's notion of the ideal woman, openly talking about mental health issues, and much more, Sulli was consistently bullied and criticized by netizens throughout her entire career. It also didn't help that she would go on to have one of the most controversial dating scandals in the second generation of K-pop. Sulli revealed the year prior that she had struggled with a panic disorder and social anxiety since she was young, and at the time of her death she was suffering from severe depression. SM released an official announcement regarding her death and asked people to refrain from spreading rumors about her. Fans and non-fans alike took to social media to express their feelings and pay respects to Sulli. SM announced that there would be a memorial held for fans to pay their respects, and that a funeral would be held in private for Sulli's close friends and family. Amber and Victoria, who were out of the country at the time of her death, canceled their schedules and flew back to Korea for the funeral. The group reunited as a whole for the first time in years for Sulli's funeral. However, despite this being a time for mourning, netizens criticized Krystal for not posting a tribute to Sulli's death on social media. However, it was reported that Krystal had broken down crying at her service and that she attended all 3 days of the funeral. Victoria wrote a long message on Weibo in which she criticized netizens for using posts on social media as a measurement of how much the members of FX loved Sulli. After her passing, the members of FX would continue to talk about Sulli and the moments they shared with her prior to her death. At the making of this video, 2 members of FX have left SM. While Victoria announced in September of 2019 that she would be leaving SM Entertainment, there is still some confusion around whether or not she is still with the company, as SM released a necklace for her birthday in January. Though there hasn't been an official announcement for disbandment, it is unlikely that the group will ever make a comeback as a whole again. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you found it informative, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!